welcome to Drinks with Ron. I'm Ron. Now I've already had a few drinks, so let's keep the party moving and let's bring in some music. Got the mini disc player hooked up because nice Willie on the mix disc. I've got the mini disc hooked up because I decided to downgrade my head unit on my stereo. I know, counterintuitive, granted, but I found a glorious, what I believe to be early to mid 70s Japanese head unit with 8-track player built in. 8-track player is crap. Most are crap these days. If you run across one, if you run across a good one, you let me know. Because I had a pristine, beautiful unit that played and recorded. You could set the levels, UV meters, beautiful. And when I moved out of Madison, apparently it didn't make it back with me, and I've been very sad since around 1998 about that. But let me digress. I hook up this unit because it's glorious. It looks beautiful. I mean, any well-run show would tilt the camera about 45 degrees and show you this beautiful bastard, but here we are. So I had to Google the name. Turns out it's some Japanese head unit. Sounds good. You turn the radio on there, good sound. It's powering these 12s, not having an issue. I had to rewire them with mount RCA jacks on the speakers, which is thing I haven't had to do since the mid-90s, I'll tell you what. But wrapping this story up, I hooked my record player up to this because it's got a phono input. For you kids and wannabe fucking hipsters that are trying to learn these things, a phono input, phono means a phonograph, a record player. Record players output at a lower volume, so to play a record player over your unit, you either need to have a gain, I don't know, it's called a gain, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's a little box you plug it into, your line input gets boosted, and then you can run that in through normal auxiliary input. Or you have a phono input, which has the gain cranked up. So I hook my record player up, and basically it sounds like there's no bump to the gain. It's from the 70s. I would think any decently composed phonograph system would have had a bump in the gain back then, but this doesn't appear to have it. So I swapped out my record player for a shitty little record player I have in the back, which has the gain bump. The problem is I'm an audiophile, like OCD, cringy audiophile, and it's got a plastic arm for that it mounts the stylus on, and it sounds plastic, man. It sounds plastic. If you aren't experienced with records, you're not gonna know what I mean, but it's painful. I couldn't do it. So I hooked up a mini disc player. Now we've got tunes. So that's where we are. How's by you? I mean, shit, everything's going sideways, so this is the part where you talk. Tell me how shit's going while I drink this donkey beer. Yeah, man, I tell you, getting by. Look, hate to cut you off, but it would be a really bad episode if I just sat here in silence. So let me get back to yapping. If you don't know, there was just an election. Election just happened. And you may not know this about me, but I know a lot about politics, like a lot. For example, here's just a thing I can tell you. One of the guys that ran for president was named Joe Biden. So, hey, I know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I might have to actually produce this episode because there's so many things I could show you. Like I was growing. You may have noticed from the last episode, I had a big bushy Santa Claus beard. I initially claimed it as a COVID beard. Really, it was just I quit giving a fuck. Like shaving, even just knocking it down with a razor was just like, what's the point? I ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna stop doing it. Like I'm not gonna do anything about my beard anymore. It's just gonna run wild. So then I was gonna save it for Halloween because my initial plan was to go as fucking Martin Van Buren. I had the big white chops. We're gonna cut it right here. I had the hair growing out the sides. Yeah, I could have pulled off Van Buren. I don't know why I would want to, but I could have. Then my next brilliant idea, as I said, big Santa Claus beard. I was gonna go as Vacation Santa, getting in the last little bit of party time before the heavy work season hits. So I was going to leave the beard, get the wire rim glasses, Acapulco shirt, you know, unbutton, yeah, let it button down, man, and you know, some shorts and some, you know, some shoes, like some flip flops or some kind of shoes that will be for vacation, and yeah, so you know, flip flops, swimming trunks, unbuttoned shirt, and I thought, where am I gonna do this? Like, am I gonna go to the bar just so I can show off a costume? Like, man, like, admittedly, it would have looked great, but it just seems rather reckless in these times. So, I didn't do anything with that. But really, the whole time, it was my election beard. I was growing it, and finally, my wife was like, I can't wait for this election so you can shave that thing. And I said, oh, you realize that Biden has to win or I don't shave it. And she's like, oh, you never said that before. I was like, that's always been the deal. Old Joe don't win. We're going to keep this going. I would have 4 more years to that shit. It would have, the torture on my face would not, it would have just, it wouldn't have compared. Wouldn't have compared. So I guess I'm gonna loop myself into a hole here and say, now I have to go cut this together. Because, well, what happened is, you know, I would say normally, but not really normally, other than really the 2 Obama elections where it was pretty cut and dried. Yeah, you don't really know right on election night. So I couldn't just be like, yeah, shave the beard. So it went in phases. Like I had the big bushy beard where I was all like panicky, and then, you know, election day hit and the nerves kicked in. And that's why I can't grow a beard, is because I'm like ADD and I have to twist all the hairs. Anything longer than a 1/4 inch, I will instinctively just fucking twist because I'm like a ball of nervous energy, and if I can't be doing a thing, my something's always got to be moving. So I can't grow a beard. Then election day hit, the nerves kicked in, and my whole face was twisted into like little dreads. And yeah, that was a good time. So then once a picture kind of started to form after the election, then I went in and just took off the sides. So then we just had a big bushy goatee, and that was cool. And then a few more days went by, and we trimmed up under the mustache a little bit. And then we got to Saturday, and I had to trim her down a little more. And then the celebration hit. The celebration. I had to grab some good ass beer because it's got a donkey on it. And, well, I don't want to set it up too much and ruin it. Let's just go to the film. I'll show you how I celebrated. Biden 270 says, I just opened a can of whoop ass. And that's the bottom line. So there you have it. and then after that, of course, the beard came down a little more. But you see, we're still not there. We still haven't got a concession. We've got more of a cornered in the bunker deal going on right now. But yeah, it's some of it staying. It just we haven't had that clean sweep. So until Mr. Bitten gets in there, we'll just leave this last little bit of shenanigans. But let me re-digress, because I didn't mean to get into politics and my vast knowledge of it. No, what I was really talking about was my old head unit here. So I started looking into it. I said this one's got a shitty plastic tone arm, and it's like the music. The sound waves are just right to my eardrums. They're like, yeah, how do you like that, you piece of shit? I take it personally. That's how much of an audiophile I am. It's just notes stabbing my ears with the hiss and the hollow fucking low end where the bass should be. It like makes my eyelid twitch. I can't. Okay, one time my kid, when she was like 4, got a part in a ballet, fucking Nutcracker, and when we had to go sit through all the rehearsals and all the audio, like, I almost had to go up to the booth because I could not take how it was mixed. It was like, oh God, you need to do something about that lower part of the mid-range in there, somewhere around 300. Get it out of there. It's just, anyway, I'm rambling because that's good for business around here. But this thing's a piece of shit. My other piece of shit, the motor intermittently gives out, as we've established on the show. So I thought I would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. First I started looking up the thing to boost the gain on the input, and those were like 20 to 30 bucks. If I'm gonna drop 30 bucks to bump up the gain on the shitty record player that intermittently fails me, I might as well just cough up the other 200 and get me a fucking record player. So I looked into it, and I found, oh man, a great deal. Great deal. I mean, I know I asked how you were doing earlier with this whole pandemic and goings on, but let me tell you, white people with good credit, I'm going to speak directly to you right now. White people with good credit, come over here. You'd be foolish not to take advantage of these interest rates, because they're going to just give you shit right now. It's like, it's going to be great. I mean, as Louis C.K. said, if I could re-up white every year, I'd pick that every year. This shit is thoroughly good, as he says. Not going to deny it. So, yeah, white people, take advantage of these interest rates. I mean, get on in there. I mean, come on, you're white. You need garbage that you don't really need. Get it at 0%. I mean, you think I would buy a new record player right now? That seems foolish. A waste of resources at a time with so much uncertainty. But, oh my God, at 0%, I'd be a knob job not to take that deal. I mean, I could probably cash in that much aluminum cans over the course of a 0% loan. I mean, F word. But I digress. Clearly, the Bloody Marys were earlier, and the vodka kind of piled on top of the good-ass beer, which is a misnomer. It's okay-ass beer, or as my sister proposed, just ass beer. It's a Minhas product, which, if you've had any of the Minhas shittier beers, it's kind of a sweet ale. And it's got a weird, syrupy, sweet, I don't know, maybe it's Canadian, maybe they use maple syrup, I don't know. But the long story short is the combination is climbed up on top of me. So my mixed disc appears to have run out, and my 0% record player has not arrived. So I think I'm gonna drink both of these alcohols. You guys want to have an alcohol? I got so much alcohols. Oh man, I've got like 6 different kinds of alcohols. You want various beers? Let's drink one, guys. Hey, party, right? Woo! Pandemic 2020, drinking alone in my basement. Whoa. Fuck. I think we got a little too much pickle juice in that guy. Anywho, I should probably go to bed. Seems like a wise choice. So, for Drinks with Ron, and this Bloody Mary, and this donkey beer, I'm Ron, signing off.